All right, we are going live on the streaming service, which means we're going to be live on 3 different Facebook platforms as well as our YouTube. And so what we're doing is we're just waiting for the technology to do its thing here. And I honestly never know whether we're live yet for a couple of minutes. So let's just go ahead and let it do its thing. And I'm just going to go over it. I'm just going to check it and see what it's doing. And I do have a couple of people waiting in the waiting room right now. I'm going to let them in just a moment. I just want to double check and make sure that we are live. There we go. Looks like everything is working. So I'm going to go ahead. Yep, that's today's, right? Yep. All right. It's working great. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and let people in. There we go. All right, so we are live and I'm just letting people in. If y'all will bear with me for just a few minutes. Hi, everybody. I see, let's see, a couple of iPhones, iPhone 72 and a Hey, Crystal. Hi, how you doing? Please feel free at any time if you want to unmute and say hi, or you can talk to me in the chat. This is going to be just a very informal meeting today. Hopefully it will be not a very long meeting today, actually, because we have a fire and it's not very far away from our house. So I'm still working. Everything is fine. We're not under an evacuation notice yet, but we are here in the mountains of San Diego, California. And as you all know, this time of year in California, we do get quite a few fires. And so we've got one. So I'm going to be keeping an eye while we're talking here today and keeping it to a short visit for you all today. But I want to make it, just really casual for us so that I'm here. I can answer your questions. I can explain to you all about what precision root cause medicine is and how it differs so much from the conventional medicine that you're used to, and how it's using the latest science and totally available to you now in order to help you feel better. And of course, that's how I got well too. So, okay, so let's see what we got here. I just have to go over and I have to put a chat in here for everybody. And Crystal says, yeah, she's driving, so she's just going to be listening, and that's totally cool. Happy you're here, Crystal. Thanks for listening. And I hope to give you some awesome value today and help you to really learn something cool. And now I see that an iPhone has become a Christian. Hey, that's kind of funny. So the iPhone has converted now. No, I'm just being silly. All right. So when you come to work here with us, you know that we're just so casual here. We have great energy here. We're funny. We're casual. We love to just welcome you into our family here when you come to work with us, and just take you by the hand and guide you through this process of healing, because it's a process. And Christian says, hey, yes, Christian is the name. I see that. I'm just making a joke. And listening and driving. All right, well, I'm glad that you guys are listening. Awesome. And we've got the other iPhone too. I don't know who the other iPhone is, but if you want to let me know who you are in the chat, and that way I can call you by name and we can talk. And I love it when I get these little groups together and we can just teach you what you need to know. So to open up, I know that people are driving, so I don't want you to have to try to text while you're driving. But if anybody, when they have a moment, if they want to drop in the chat, if they want to drop what kinds of things, what kinds of symptoms are you suffering with? And the other iPhone is Heather. Hi, Heather. Nice to have you here. So I'm Dory. In case you all have not seen my videos or my ads, that's probably why you're here, is because you've seen the ad already. And so you know that that I am an autoimmune disease research scientist. I'm actually an immunotoxicologist, and I decided to come down with my own set of autoimmune diseases quite a while ago now. And it totally destroyed my life, totally took everything away from me. But now I am really almost all the way healed. And what little symptoms I still have left do not stop me from crushing it in life anymore, right? And so I'm here to tell you that I did this with precision root cause medicine. And so now, since healing, I've gone on to be a holistic practitioner myself. And now I can help you do the same thing that I did. And so I think that the main thing that I'm always trying to teach to people about the differences between conventional medicine and root cause science is that conventional medicine is still operating with tests that are about 30 or 40 years old. And this is why when you go there and you're telling your doctor, hey, I have a multitude of different symptoms and I feel terrible, and they run their tests and they tell you, well, sorry, we can't find anything wrong with you. Okay. That's a problem, correct? Right. And in precision root cause medicine, we have the latest scientific testing. So let me tell you about one of them, just so you know, and so you get a picture of the difference between the testing that your doctor has and the testing that we have here. And so we have a test, and you guys can look this up for yourself online. It's made by a company called Genova Diagnostics. Okay. And so you can look them up. They're one of the top precision root cause lab companies in the world. Okay. And this one called a NutriEval, we absolutely love it. It's widely considered as the gold standard of precision medicine testing. And why? Because we can look at your biochemicals at the cellular level, how your cells are performing from head to toe. So we're talking about your brain chemicals, your gut chemicals, your mitochondrial chemicals, your inflammatory chemicals. I could go on and on and on. Okay, everything that has to do with nutrition. We can see exactly what your cells have and what they don't. Now, your doctor might run a B12 test, for instance, if you're tired, okay? But what your doctor's checking is B12 in the blood. Well, who cares if it's in the blood, okay? What we care about is it in the cell where it can do its work, okay? So this is a really huge difference between the types of tests that your doctor is doing and the new scientific tests that we can do for you here. And I hope you can understand the difference. I'm sure you can, that if the B12 is just floating around in your blood, it's not really doing anything for you, okay? It has to be able to get across the cellular membrane and inside of the cell for it to do its work, okay? And with these new types of testing, we can actually see whether B12 is working inside your cell or not, okay? And so this is way cool. And y'all can look that up online. Now, these are the kind of tests you do have to have a licensed practitioner help you order them. But here we are. We're here to help you. And Crystal says the types of things that she's dealing with right now. Oh, wow. Crystal, you look like, so many different people. You're totally not alone in this. She's got thyroid issue, adrenal issues, going through menopause, iodine deficiencies. That's part of the reason why your thyroid and adrenals are not happy. A sluggish liver, of course you do. Insomnia, of course you do. Chronic stress, of course. That's a catch-22 between your adrenals and what's going on in your head. And if you have leaky membranes, it's not staying long enough to work anyway. Yeah. So here's the thing. Crystal has been probably watching other people on the internet, and she knows that your gut, and not only your gut, but your brain, your blood vessels, anything in your body can be leaky. Okay, that means little tiny microscopic holes are being caused from an inflammatory issue of some kind. And I don't care whether your doctor says, oh yeah, but your CRP levels are fine, your ESR is fine, so you don't have inflammation. Oh my gosh. Oh, please don't believe that. Okay, that is such antiquated thinking. It's wrong thinking. Any symptom that you have in your body pretty much is going to be caused by some kind of an inflammatory action, and the inflammation is causing tissue damage. And the first thing that happens with tissue damage is you get little tiny microscopic holes in your membranes. So that's your membrane leading from your gut and being presented to your immune system right on the other side of your gut lining. It's your leakiness of your brain, right? It's the little tiny holes in the epithelial cells, which causes high cholesterol, because cholesterol is a Band-Aid and your liver is just doing its job. And what happens is then the cholesterol with other little things builds up to create the Band-Aid in your epithelial cells. And before you know it, now you have high blood pressure because things are rigid in there now, right? But how did it all start? It all started with some kind of inflammatory problem, and that is your root cause. So when you think of root causes, think of what is causing my inflammation, right? So if I had a drawing board, which I probably do, I just don't know how to use it, but you can go inflammation equals, and leads to tissue damage, leads to your symptoms, eventually leads to you getting a diagnosis of some kind. And then eventually, if you let that continue to go on and on and on, you'll be on multiple medications, and you'll eventually, right? Because you can't go on like that. And you've seen old people who just continue to just languish on all these medications, and they're just sick as dogs. And this is not okay. Not today, when we have the science in order to keep you healthy and prevent you from getting that way in the first place, right? And of course, if we can prevent you from getting sick, we can reverse once things have gotten out of control. And that's how I'm sitting in front of you today, is because we were able to find all my different root causes, and one by one, maybe clumps of them, turn them around, right? And once those root causes are out of your body, then they're not causing inflammation anymore. Therefore, your symptoms get better. The tissue damage gets better. That's another thing that I want to say. And even if you are listening to me jabber on and on and on, and you think, oh my gosh, this is just so much information, I want to stop right now, and I want to get this message across to you. Just because you might have a sluggish liver right now, right? Just because you might have some damage in your gut, or maybe you've got some damage in your brain, does not mean that your body cannot turn that around for you and heal it for you, okay? And so hear me loud and clear on that. Your body is an amazing creation made by God. You are living in this thing that is absolutely astoundingly intelligent, okay? It knows how to take care of you. It knows how to fix you. The problem is that because you didn't know any better, You have allowed way too much inflammation to enter this, okay? And it's overloaded. It's overloaded. And that's why you have to help your body by learning what your root causes are and then doing the work to get rid of those root causes. Right? And Crystal says, yes and amen, our bodies are designed to heal. Absolutely they are. I mean, if you don't believe me, go cut yourself. Because, about 3 days later, you're going to notice that it is getting better. I wonder how that happened. It happened because your body knows how to heal you. Okay. And it will heal your organs. It can heal your brain. Okay. I'm a living example of this. And there are literally hundreds of thousands of people just like me around the world. Right. So we can do this. We can absolutely do this. Now, the next thing that I want to touch on is the fact that it's not all about your diet. So, gosh, every day, I wish I could just have this big sign up for people to read before they come to see me. And it basically is going to say, it's not all about your diet. Right? Now, of course, your diet is part of it, okay? If you eat a bunch of crap, you're causing a bunch of inflammation. Okay, duh, that makes sense, doesn't it? Right? But people come to me every day, but Dory, I have done the AIP diet. I have gone whole foods. I have done the intermittent fasting. I've stopped all my sugar. I don't drink sodas anymore. And yet I'm still sick. So therefore, I can't be healed. I'm stuck. I've tried everything. And I say to them, have you ever had a Nutri-Eval test done? What's a Nutri-Eval test? Like, oh, you haven't tried everything. Let's see. Have you looked at, have you had a full tox panel that looks completely at every, known toxin that could be a root cause for your chronic symptoms? Oh, well, I had a heavy metals test done. Excellent. One small piece of the puzzle. You got to have that full test. So you got to see it all if you want to catch these things and do something about them, right? What about invisible infections? Okay, this is a huge area of research. And you know that if you get an infection, you'll get sick, right? Okay, this is obvious. But what people don't really know is that chronic infections and infections of any kind, they're going to kind of live in your body. Once you're exposed to them, they're going to kind of be there. Okay. A lot of bugs are like this, not all of them, but a lot of them are. They're going to kind of hang out once you're exposed to them. And what your immune system combined with your gut health, they work together. What they do is they say, yeah, but you can hang out, but you're sitting over there in the corner. You're not going to cause me any inflammation. You're not going to cause me any problems. Now that's if you have a strong immune system, a strong gut health. Okay. Otherwise, what's going to happen is those little invisible infections, they're not going to rise to the level that your doctor could catch them, not to that acute, screaming siren level. But they're going to rise just enough that they're going to continue to create toxins, okay, which is going to continue to create your inflammation, which is going to continue to create your tissue damage. It's going to continue to create your symptoms. It's going to continue to create your disease. Do you see this? So what I'm continually explaining to people is that what precision medicine is doing for you is basically getting back to the bottom line of where medicine should have been in the first place. But it kind of got corrupted by big pharma and insurance and, a lot of money and all of that. Okay. But you don't have to stay in that mess. You really don't. You do have a choice, right? You can help yourself to get well by finding your root causes and then working with someone to help you fix them. And so that's exactly what we do here. So I think that you can tell that We're a real clinic here in San Diego. We have this, pretty huge business all over the world now, right? This is real. This is real science. This is not some snake oil or, anything silly like that. This is very real. And what I would tell you is that the difference between a company like ours and maybe just a functional medicine person out there, right? There are some differences. Okay, number one, we're run by a scientist. So I'm a research immunotoxicologist, and I am specialized in autoimmunity. And so I did my PhD fellowship at Duke University and North Carolina State. I have my master's in autoimmunity. And so when the company is led by a scientist, which a lot of functional medicine companies are, especially the ones that are making some of the supplements and things like that, right? When the company is led by a scientist, I want you to know that it's the scientists that are the educators that teach doctors in medical school. Okay, so like I've heard some people say out there, well, if you're not a full-fledged MD, that it's not good enough. And what you really need to know is that it's the scientists that teach the doctors, okay? So if you can trust the doctor, you can certainly trust a scientist, okay? And we kind of know what we're doing. So just having said that and breaking down those barriers, when you're working with a company that is led by a scientist, you are actually getting all the latest science. Whereas some of the MDs out there who have switched over to doing functional medicine, sadly, they're still just using natural things as though they were using a pharmaceutical thing. They're still doing the Band-Aids. Right. And what I need you to know is that if you don't go straight to the cellular level, if you don't go straight to the genetic level to try to fix your root causes, you're just kind of doing the same thing that the pharmaceutical companies are doing. You're going symptom down instead of root cause up. And that is critical for you to get well. Okay, because symptom down doesn't work. And you probably know that already. Like, you can use some different supplements and you can make some differences in the way you feel. But are you really doing everything that you need to do to get rid of the root causes? And the answer is no, right? And so, yes, we can use supplements and herbs and all kinds of awesome natural ways in order to get rid of your root causes. Okay, that's true. But you need to know what those root causes are. And what people do nowadays, and you probably have done it, right? I know this is going to sound really familiar to you because people do it all the time. And I watch people doing it on Facebook all the time. Is they see some awesome supplement ad that says, oh, this is cool for detox and it's going to get rid of if I have Lyme disease and if I have this and if I have mold and whatever. And I'm just going to try this product because it's awesome. Well, they don't tell you that you really need a full protocol, a full lifestyle plan, a full nutrition plan. You need to help your cells to have everything that they need first for that product to really work for you. And all by itself, there are no products that work all by themselves, you guys. I'm sorry. It does not exist, right? So you can go spend $85 a month on this one supplement and hope, but that's not what people do. Right? They buy this supplement and that supplement and this supplement and that supplement and this supplement. And before they know it, they've got this cupboard full of supplements. And people show me their cupboards all the time. So I know what people have, right? And loaded with junk supplements, number one, things that are actually causing you problems. Loaded with supplements that are working against each other, okay? Because people don't know how to take them properly, right? And so you really do need to work with an expert if you're serious about getting well. Now, if you just want to dabble with your health and you want to make your health problem completely prolong and, let things be out of control because you aren't a scientist and you don't know what you're doing. Sorry, but it's the truth, right? And so, here I am. I'm a witness to tell you the truth. Sometimes the truth is, okay, oops, yep, I can open my cupboard. I can see that that's what's happening. Yep, I can admit that I'm dabbling and I don't really know what I'm doing. Yup, I've been doing this for how long and I'm still sick. Okay, but yet here's Dory on the other side of the screen saying, I'm not sick anymore. What's the difference between me and you? Right? The difference is that I had to learn a lot. I had to completely change what I was taught, right? In my master's and PhD program, which is straight conventional medicine. Okay. I had to learn, I had to like unlearn some of that stuff. Now, that's not to say that my education didn't serve me, because there's still so much there, of course, but wow, by going the holistic route, I really had to change the way I thought about how the body worked. And instead of thinking about the body working as just your organ over here or just your brain up here, right? I had to really learn how the body is a symphony and how it's all working together in order to bring you to a place of optimal health. And so the difference between me having healed 7 autoimmune diseases and severe fibromyalgia, having reversed fatty liver disease, having reversed insulin resistance, having reversed all that brain fog and anxiety and depression that comes with illness. The difference between me and you is the fact that I had to go through several years of learning. I had to work this whole problem out in my own body, right? Which that's the kind of experience that, you don't want to have, but unfortunately, it's the best kind of experience to have, right? And so, what I'm doing in our mission now is I'm able to teach this to you, and that's my goal. I don't want to just be that functional or precision practitioner out there who is just giving you a protocol and a month later, 6 weeks later, you come back to me, well, how did you do? I'm sorry, that does not work for people. It just doesn't. And too many functional practitioners are out there still doing that. And the organizations that I'm with, we don't believe in doing that. We really don't. We believe in immersing people in these beautiful programs where people are in a loving community and, we're right in there with them. Right? We're in your health business, right? We're in there with you. We want to know how you're pooping every day. We're right in there with you, talking to you on a daily basis, if need be, to get you to that place of wellness. And mostly, hear this, okay? Mostly teach you how to be the CEO of your own health. So that when you have a symptom, you can go, oh, now I know that I saw in my testing that my EBV has gone chronic. So that means I have a chronic virus, and that's why I have these times of where my temperature raises and I can't seem to control my temperature, right? And I feel like I'm running a low-grade fever and I'm really exhausted all of a sudden, and it tends to hit me at 4:00 in the afternoon. Dang, that's weird. Why? It's so weird. It's so weird. But wait a minute. It's not. That time of day is when the virus is the most active, right? And so all of these things make sense once you learn. And the difference between me being healed and you still struggling with this and still trying to figure it out on your own is that I have the knowledge. Right? And so my job is to give you the knowledge, right? And then then you don't have to lie awake and, be scared at night wondering what is this symptom and what is that symptom and why did this happen and am I dying or, do I have MS? Oh my gosh, do I have this terrible autoimmune disease? And people just spiral out of control with the anxiety and depression from being sick. And I'm here to tell you that you really don't have to do that anymore. There are answers. We can find your root causes. We can get them in a few weeks. It's just a matter of getting the test, right? A few weeks later, we're going to know your answers. Then we can get busy. Then we can get to work, right? And that's where it's at. That's where you start feeling like the CEO of your own health, because you're learning everything that you need to do about your root causes and how to take control over them. Because you really can't. Your health really doesn't have to be completely out of your control. There is so much that you can do. And so that's what I'm here to teach you. That's why I'm sitting here in front of you today. And Crystal says, yeah, the doctors just want to mask and heal and cut, or mask and cut and not heal. Yeah, they do. I mean, to be fair, most doctors aren't going into medicine just to make money, right? Most doctors are going in because they really do care about helping people. But what they find in medical school, and then once they're out in practice, which is what, most of the doctors that we train here, they all say the same thing, right? And, by the way, we train people here to do precision functional medicine. So, if we can train the doctors, then we can probably help you, right? But, most doctors are just frustrated. They're just as frustrated as you are. They want to heal you. They want you to feel better. They really do. They just have not been taught the tools in how to do it, right? And yes, conventional medicine, it has its place. If you have a heart attack, I want you to go straight to the hospital. You know what I mean? It does have its place. But when it comes to chronic illness, conventional medicine very much fails us because none of the doctors are really taught how to find the toxins, how to find the invisible infections, how to find all those things like the heavy metals and the molds and all those cellular deficiencies that we're suffering from. Gosh, can I give you guys like this really cool example? Okay, so we had this client come to us, scared to death. Okay, this poor woman has just been through the ringer. She must have been to like 8 different specialists in the last couple of years. She has symptoms that look like MS, multiple sclerosis. Okay, so a lot of neuropathy, tingling and numbness, and weird things happening in her extremities, very extreme brain fog and headaches, and a lot of anxiety, a lot of stuff going on. Okay, and it presents very much like MS. And so what does the doctor do? The doctor goes, let's run your blood test. Well, they don't really see anything. So they say, this really does look like MS. So I'm going to send you to a rheumatologist. Well, the rheumatologist runs all her panels and she doesn't see the high ANA, maybe just a little bit of ANA, doesn't really see the specific markers for MS. So then they say, well, it still looks like MS. So I think that, we're going to send you to the hospital and we're going to do a full MRI and we're going to look to see if there's any lesions in the brain, because we know that that's what happens with MS, right? This poor woman sends her to the hospital. She does the whole thing. Okay. And this is not an isolated example. Okay. I tell you this story because it's true. And I've seen it over and over again. Okay, but I am thinking of one particular person right now. And literally no lesions, but yet she's presenting from head to toe with what really looks like multiple sclerosis. Okay, and that's a pretty freaky, scary disease. And so, she has several different specialists and they're all saying, well, let's just wait and see what happens here. They send her home with that. Right? And so what does she do? She gets on the internet and starts reading everything that she can, which even scares her worse. Okay. And, she can't sleep. She can barely work. She can barely function because she's so stressed out and anxious about what's happening with her body. And literally she's having, anywhere from 10 to 20 different symptoms all over the place. And it's freaking her out. Right? Of course. Right? And then her husband's looking at her and thinking, well, you're just stressed. She's not just stressed, right? She literally has these problems. These are real. They're not in her head. Just because the doctors can't find anything with their tests does not mean that it's not real. So we run our tests here. Well, guess what she actually has? She actually has a multitude of different cellular deficiencies, actually also has Babesia, which is a little bug that kind of comes along with Lyme disease. And her body's kind of helped herself with Lyme, but not completely gotten rid of it, right? And so what do we know about Lyme disease and Babesia? Well, they cause nerve damage, right? They cause neuropathies, numbness, tingling. What do we know about the cellular deficiencies, right? If you don't have enough of the certain kinds of B vitamins, you're going to have neuropathies, numbness, and tingling, and they can be extreme. You think, oh, it's just a vitamin deficiency. What's the big deal? Hey, you're super low on your B vitamins because your body is fighting something else, which her body was, okay, that no doctor caught, right? And so it's sapping her B vitamins, making her, you can think about this. You can go, okay, well, how did these puzzle pieces fall into place? Well, maybe she got, because she ate a typical American diet, her gut health wasn't in the best of shape to begin with. There was some, dysbiosis there, some leaky gut, a little bit of stuff, but nothing that really, was a big deal, right? Didn't really notice it that much, not a big deal. Okay, but then maybe she got exposed to the Lyme and the Babesia. Well, now the Lyme and the Babesia can kind of get out of control because when your gut's a mess, also your immunity is not strong enough. So now that got under control, started creating a whole bunch of cellular deficiencies, started creating a whole bunch of toxins and inflammation. So now, well, how does your body get rid of, how does your immune system get rid of something like, a bug like Lyme? Okay. Well, it's going to start using all of the different things that it needs. It's going to start using things like, anything to detox you, like vitamin C and glutathione and B vitamins and vitamin D and all these things that it needs in order to get rid of it. But gee, the Lyme and the Babesia are getting the upper hand because why? Go back to the very beginning, because she's eating a bunch of crap, because she's not getting all the nutrients that she needs in her diet. And so I hope that you can see from that explanation that this whole thing can snowball out of control and it can create very severe illnesses. Now, if she'd have gone on like that, she might have developed MS, okay? But instead, we found her root causes. We started working on them very specifically, and all of a sudden, wow, the numbness and the tingling is getting better slowly. Okay, this is not a quick fix. You need to know that. It took your body a long time to become messed up, right? It's going to take your body time to work through these root causes. But, if you're wise, you know that, I need to take care of my body for the rest of my life, not just have some quick fix and then go back to living my same old unhealthy life, right? And so that's part of what you need to do in order to get well. You need to really get this attitude like, okay, I didn't know any better. This is the way my society raised me, whatever. No one taught me in school that I need to take care of my genetics and my epigenetic expression and how to take care of my cells and how to look at my biochemistry. Like nobody ever taught us that. So it's not your fault. But now we know, okay? Now we have the tools. Now we have the science. And yes, all doctors should be using it. Yes, it should be covered by insurance. Yes, it should be low enough cost so that anybody can afford it. I agree with you 100%, but we're not there yet, okay? So what are you and I going to do standing in the gap if we're already sick? If we can wait 10 years and do it then, whenever we, when conventional medicine finally catches up to the science, okay, but we can't. We have to take care of ourselves now, right? Which means that we need to take some of those dollars that we put into, over here with the supplements that you've been buying that you probably really don't need anyway. Right. And instead of, spending extra money on going out to dinner, you need to take some of that money and get a test with it and find your root causes. And instead of running to the mall and buying whatever you buy or running to Home Depot and, spending that money, you need to really prioritize that money on finding your root causes. And I just hope that when I'm saying this, that you just hear that I'm telling you the truth. Right. And I'm not just sitting here trying to get your money, because honestly, I really don't make hardly any money at all on these tests, really. Most of the time I bring people into our program and all your tests are at wholesale anyway, and I don't make a dime. Right. So that's not really what it's about. It's about me getting the truth across to you so you can understand that you're not stuck in all these symptoms and all this anxiety and the depression and everything. You're just not stuck in this, that there are things that you can do. And finding those root causes of your inflammation is your absolute number one critical thing that you must do if you want to get well. Otherwise, what you're doing is you're just grasping at straws. You're reading things on the internet. You're trying this thing over here. You're trying that thing over there. Right? And it's not gonna work that way. You are wasting your time, you're wasting your money, right? When the best possible thing that you can do is line yourself up with the science that God has given us. Duh. We're a Christian organization here, and I always say, I think God knew what he was doing when he created our bodies, number one. Okay. And I think he also knew what he was doing when he gave us specific foods and things that we're supposed to be eating, right? Because they work together to make us super healthy. But what have we done? We have taken that, we've just thrown all that away, right? Our modern society and the way we live and the things that we eat and the things that we expose ourselves to, it's crazy. It's a wonder we're still alive. That's why I say our bodies are just incredible, amazing creatures, because even though we're overexposed, we don't eat right, and we're totally stressed, we don't sleep right, we don't take good care of ourselves, we eat Doritos and right. Even though we do all that, we're still walking around, right? We're still alive. We might not be feeling all that great, but we're still here. Right. And that is a testament to the fact that your body is strong. Your body is amazing. Your body is doing its best to heal all this stuff, but it's losing the battle. And that's why you feel like crap every day. And you don't have to walk down that path. You can literally turn it around. You really can. So let's see what people are saying, because I'll get talking and then, oh my gosh. Okay. Oh, Crystal's mom was diagnosed with MS 20 years, but no lesions. Yeah, let's wait and see. And all the trauma. Absolutely. Absolutely. But we know algebra. Yeah, it's true. It's a simple equation. This is not rocket science. It's what are you going to do? What choice are you going to make? Are you going to continue to stumble through life and just try to, fart around with your health here? Or are you going to line yourself up with the science, line yourself up with the truth, and just start working with someone to help you do this right? And it doesn't have to be me. Right. And as a matter of fact, here at our clinic, we don't accept everyone. That's the truth. Because not everyone is ready for this kind of work, to be honest, right? Some people would rather eat their Doritos and take their medications. And honestly, I don't like working with people like that. It's true. No, because they don't get results because they don't do the work. Right. And the last thing I want to do is take someone's money and babysit them through a health program when they're not doing what they need to do. Right. And what we say amongst us as practitioners is we say, yeah, the saddest thing is when you get a client into your program and you're doing so much work for them and they're not doing any work for themselves and they're still kind of farting around with this, right? And you are busting your butt trying to figure them out, trying to take care of them and giving them the right protocol and everything that you can do for them. And they're not doing it, or they're kind of doing it half-a, right? It's the most frustrating thing in the world to a practitioner to deal with that. And so here we don't just let people buy into our programs, right? We want to meet with you first. We want to really sit down with you, talk to you, hear what you have to say. And, we really want to hear that you're serious about your health and that, no, you're probably afraid that you're not going to be able to succeed. And you probably think, oh my gosh, I've failed at a diet so many times. And right, everybody feels that way. I felt that way too. And it's not about perfection. That's what you need to know, because still to this day, I am not perfect in the way I walk my health life. I can't be. I don't know how to be perfect, but what I do know how to be is I do know how to have multiple different things that are part of my daily plan every day that make it easier for me to live my life. Things like having a certain smoothie recipe that literally takes me 5 minutes to make, and drinking that every day for superfood nutrition, and making sure that I get sunlight every day, making sure that I have some prayer time for relaxation and for, grounding and lining myself up with the Lord every day, for my stress, for my cortisol, for my sleep, right? It's important. Making sure that I have a certain supplement regimen that I do every day. Literally takes me about 3 minutes to grab those things, right? Knowing that I'm going to start the day with intermittent fasting, knowing that I'm going to drink green tea and coffee without a ton of sugar. Okay, just changing those little baby steps, baby step, baby step, baby step, baby step, until pretty soon, by the time you've been in a program for 6 months or 8 months, you literally have 30 different baby steps that you're doing quite naturally every single day. And you're actually starting to see the results from doing that, right? And so really, it's not about perfection. So I don't want people to be scared, we just want you to be serious about your health. Right. And that you're willing, like if you're spending, $200 a month in going out to dinner, or buying drinks for friends or whatever, are you willing to take that money and put it into a test instead, so you can finally know why you got sick in the first place? And I think that it's really illogical to say no to that. You know what I mean? Right? Like, why would you go on just doing the same old when it costs so little to get your answers and then to be able to be in charge and be in control of your health? Isn't that what's more important? And so, that's the bottom line. And Crystal says, let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, she says, it's kind of like a codependency thing that, like, we as practitioners, like, I know for me, I always make the joke that I'm like your Jewish mama, right? Like, I want to be in the middle of your life, and I want to really watch your symptoms, start to go away. I want to hear from you all the time. None of this, I'll talk to you in 6 weeks after I give you a protocol thing. That's just crazy, right? But at the same time, it has to be both ways. It can't be me chasing you down. Hey, did you do this that I told you to do? Hey, did you do that I told you to do? That is the most frustrating thing for a practitioner ever. It reminds me of raising kids. Right? like when you got some little 5-year-old and every 2 seconds you're, following him around the house going, hey, I just told you to do that. How come you're not doing it yet? Hey, I just told you to do that. How come you're not doing it yet? Hey, I'm going to give you a spanking if you don't do that. It's crazy, right? And I don't want to work with people like that, to be quite honest, and hey, I'm a strong Christian woman and I will love you, but I don't want to work with you if you're going to act like that, right? I want you to be just as caring about your own health as I am, like I can't love you more than you love yourself. Right. You've got to want this to come into a program like ours. And so what I want to do is I want to drop in the chat. Okay, so that link that I just dropped into the chat is something really cool for you guys. And I want to thank you for hanging around and listening to me jabber. I'd be happy to answer some questions for you. But dropping that into the chat, what that is that's like our program here. Okay. And it's literally going to show you all the different things that you're going to learn. And it's also going to give you some freebies at the beginning of that so that you can read through those freebies. And there's a really cool video that you can watch that explains all about the different root causes and whether you might have some of these or some of those, right? It's really cool stuff. Tells you about the different kinds of testing. At the end of that video, and actually all the way through that, it gives you an opportunity to work with us and just get started, right? And it has a really cool introductory rate. It's just $197, which is practically unheard of in precision medicine. Most of the time, just to walk in the door is about $400, right? But we're giving you the root cause evaluation, getting your foot in the door, also giving you a couple of really nice programs just to get you started that help you with an anti-inflammatory diet plan, giving you a lot of great information, right? Just for that, right? And so I invite everyone to grab that. It's in the chat. You can see it right there in the chat. It's a link that will take you straight to our programs page. And if you've never been there before, it will ask you to put your email in. Okay, so go ahead and just put your name and email in there, right? And then you can have the beginning of the program and you can see all the things that we teach, which is all the latest science to get your health back. And that's, I guess, about all I want to say today. I'm still kind of looking outside and seeing what the smoke is doing. If you give me just 1 second, I want to mute this and just ask my person that's hanging out in the kitchen here what the smoke is doing. So just hang on 1 second so I can make sure this fire is not crazy right now. Okay, thank you. I'm back and I think things are fine. The fire is about 10 miles away from us, but all the smoke and everything was blowing in our direction and it was, kind of freaking us all out. So I just wanted to, it's smoky. Yeah, it's still smoky. All right, well, I think we're okay. So let's see, we still have an iPhone on here, and if you feel like you want to unmute and ask me any questions, I can still take a few minutes here to get some questions answered. Dang, she just opened the door and I can smell the smoke. Well, California, right? We have the best weather in the world, but we also have fires and earthquakes. So it's just one of those things, I guess, we have to put up with. All right.
Hey, this is Heather. I do have a question for you.
Well, I am always happy to answer questions. I also have an awesome health strategist here in our office, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop her phone number in the chat as well. It's 760-460-4349. That is our office number here. And my health strategist's name is Haley. So I'm going to put Haley. And you can text Kaylee, you can call her, and she is happy to do a free evaluation for you and, sit down with you and answer your questions, right? She's really knowledgeable. She's actually going through the healing process herself as well and getting really great results. So she could definitely help you there. And let's see, what else can I give you guys before I go? Okay, I'm also going to go ahead and give you our website. Oops, can't type. Okay. And on the website, you can read all about what we do here, all the different kinds of illnesses and symptoms that we help you with here. We're, just so you know, we are one of those businesses where we help the worst of the worst. So being a research immunotoxicologist and an autoimmune specialist, we have to do things a little bit differently here because we're dealing with people who are very chronically ill. And, we're not just, this is not the place to come to if you just want to lose 10 pounds and learn how to get healthier. I mean, you could do it here, right? You need to learn this stuff. But really, we're all about really helping those really severe cases, the ones where people feel like they've tried everything, they've done everything, doctors aren't helping them, right? And we get results here for them, right? And so we know that we can help you, and we'll be real honest with you, right up front. When we sit down and have that first meeting with you, we will absolutely let you know what we think can be helped and maybe what, doesn't really get helped that much. I'll give you an example of that. Most things can be helped, okay, most things. But like me, myself, I had very severe Raynaud's where your hands and your feet turn blue and white, and it's very painful, very uncomfortable, and it actually causes little ulcers because you don't get enough oxygen and blood flow to your extremities. And really uncomfortable part of one of the diseases that I had, because I had a scleroderma, and scleroderma tends to come with this whole Raynaud's disease thing. Okay. Now to date, I've gotten that about 85% better. And I'm going, whoop, right? I'm excited about that 85%. I still have to deal with some of that, but I have tools now, right? I know how to help it. I know how to make it better. I know how to keep it at 85% rather than letting it get back down to as bad as it was, right? And so this is what it's all about. It's all about us being honest with you, telling you exactly what we can do, just giving you the straight up scoop. Okay, this is where the science is at. This is what we can do for you. And if that aligns with you and you feel good about it and we feel good about it, then we'll be happy to help you get started, take you by the hand, and lead you out of this mess that you're in right now. Okay. All right. So if there aren't any more questions, know that this is recorded, right? It's in, it's on the different channels in Facebook. It's on our YouTube page. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I almost forgot to give you something. Oh, no, I didn't. Yeah, it's wrapped up in that link. Okay. So this cool link that I just gave you guys a minute ago, I'm going to drop it again. Okay, this link is great. You want to grab this link and you want to go read. Okay, and there's an awesome video there that you can watch. There's our transformation cheat sheet there that literally walks you through step by step. What are the things that I need to do in order to heal, and why do I need to do them? Okay, and this is critical information that you need. Okay, so go to that link. Yes, you will have to put your email in, but don't worry about it, okay? Put your email in. It's a HIPAA compliant server. It's totally safe. You don't have to worry. Okay, we're not going to sell your information to anybody or anything like that. This is just for us, okay? And the iPhone says, oh, thank you. Well, thanks for hanging out. Can I answer any questions for you before we go? I think the iPhone is still Christian,
no,
right?
no, this is
Or is it a
Heather.
different iPhone now? I don't know.
No, you answered all my questions. Thank you so
Let's
much.
make sure that I can hear you. Hold on just a second. I got to talking to my own speaker turned off, so hang on just a second. Let's make sure that I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can. Yay. So who am I talking to?
This is Heather. This is Heather.
Hi, Heather.
Hey, no, that was great information. I'm gonna check out the website and hopefully get back in touch about some of the tests and things. But thank you so much. I've got to jump off though. But thank you.
Well, good. Yeah, I want to kind of jump off too because this fire is kind of freaking me out a
Great.
little.
Yeah. Hopefully y'all are safe.
All right. Well, thanks for hanging out with me this afternoon.
Have a great day.
You too.
Thanks.
Bye-bye. All right. So I am going to go check on the fire now. Everybody pray for me. I'm sure it's going to be fine. The fire is like 10 miles away. I'm sure they're going to get it under control. At least, all the fires in our area the last few years. I mean, the fire people here are amazing. They really are. I mean, as soon as there's even the tiniest little fire, they are on it. And they usually get things put out really quickly. So you might just want to say a little prayer for us that they actually do that and that none of the firefighters are hurt and that there's no homes lost or no animals lost. That's really the main thing that that we worry about here with these fires. So, all right. Thank you for joining us today. And please feel free to get in touch with Kaylee or us. And we're happy to help you here and happy to answer your questions. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.